So just the other day, I made a video about how Israelis are ransacking people's homes in Gaza. They're filming themselves with, at their own hands, by their, through their own social media networks. They're admitting to these war crimes. Looting is a war crime. Stealing from civilian shops, homes is forbidden. And yet they keep filming themselves doing this. And I put together another collage, if you will, another expose of Israelis not just looting, but also torturing and saying and basically laughing at making light of the fact that Gaza is burning. Really just horrific, malicious, evil behavior. There's no other way to describe any of this. There truly isn't. I'm at a loss for words. So here you have Israelis basically, posing in I can only assume this is a children's room because of the pink and the toys. I showed you last time how they regularly take children's toys and make fun of the children, like they pretend they're going to school, and then they say, haha, there are no schools left because we destroyed them. And then they'll get inside of a baby's cot and sleep there and pretend to be children, or put their toys on the front of a vehicle. Here's another one where the Israelis have, I don't know, they've taken some dresses. They basically rummaged through people's homes and stolen girls' or women's clothes and put them on. And once again, there's a difference if you or I, we do that for fun. There's a difference between that and going to, someone's home in another country that you have bombed and then stealing their clothes and posing with their their personal affairs. I mean, these are worlds apart. There's a difference between boys, just having fun and war crimes. You have to understand this. It's not just like, oh, they're having fun or something. No. This is really sick and serious. You have to understand that. And not to mention the fact that it's unbecoming of a professional army. I mean, not that we were, under any illusion that the Israelis constitute a professional army in the first place, but nevertheless, if you were to make the assertion or put forward the hypothesis that the Israelis are a professional army, I'm sorry, no, absolutely not. And they began as terrorists. Never forget this. The Israeli armed forces began as terrorist organizations like the Haganah, literal terrorists. Okay, I'm not. It's not me saying that. It's the British government. So here, more of these photos where they're posing with women's makeup and clothes and attire and accessories. It's truly endless. I mean, I don't know why I'm shocked, but yeah, it's truly endless. Here's another one. Just look at the subtitles, honestly, what he's saying.
בוקר האחרון שלנו בעזה, אפשר לראות כאן קצת גרפיטי שעשיתי. בגדול תקופה מטורפת, עשייה מטורפת. חזרנו לרעים ככה, קצת כמו שאומרים. הנה תראו קצת מה הולך להם פה. הכל שבור, הרוס, שרוף, מרוסק. אין לכם לאן לחזור, עזתים. כל העזתים היקרים, אתם לא יקרים, אתם זולים. הם הומלסים. אנחנו נאמלל אתכם. אנחנו נראה לכם מה זה, מי שולט פה. אתם תסבלו על כל שנייה על מה שעשיתם לנו. לילדים שלנו, לנשים שלנו, לגברים. אתם תמותו. לא, אין לכם לאן לחזור, אתם הומלסים אתם! בוקר האחרון שלנו בעזה, אפשר לראות.
Well, the International Court of Justice and International Criminal Court, thank you for this submission. Here's another one.
נשרפת, תשרפו חיים. עזה נשרפת, תשרפו חיים, יא שרמוטות בני זונות. אמא שלכם זונה, בת זונה.
Well, here's a grocery store that they're looting.
אנחנו פה במכולת שפשטנו עליה.
כן, מה אתה רוצה?
סטרי.
כן, בבקשה. אתה רוצה בטריות? אתה רוצה, זה וקס, שיער, זה בן זונה. אתה רוצה זה בן זונה. אתה רוצה מה קורות או מה זה?
סטרי, שים כאן החוצה, שים. שים כאן החוצה להיום.
זה גם, זה.
He's pretending he's making fun of the Muslim faith also, you know.
שים כאן החוצה להיום.
זה גם, זה. אתה שם ג'לביה. כך, זה בן זונה, כך. סך הכל, בן זונה.
He was pretending it's a prayer rug and then kicking it aside. And I want you to remember these things because it's not just the looting, it's also the there's a difference between a bunch of soldiers going into a shop and stealing food because they're hungry, and then filming themselves and just like happily destroying everything in the shop and swearing and come on, you know I don't need to explain this to you. You surely understand the difference, because there's no possible explanation for this other than the Israeli army is a terrorist organization. It always has been since its inception. They have not changed since the days of the Irgun, the Lehi, or the Stern Gang, and the Haganah. They are still those terrorist groups today. They have not changed in any way whatsoever. They would happily kill British citizens and American citizens if they need to, and we saw that they did that in the King David Hotel and the USS Liberty, and they happily kill Arabs today just as they did 75 years ago, and as a matter of fact, even before 1948. This is really just disgusting, evil behavior. There's no other way to put it. There's no excuse for this. Here, there's more. They're even admitting it themselves, right? Aside from the fact that they're filming it, they're literally using that word. Here's another. By the way, I have to thank Eunice for putting this thread together. Forgive me, I forgot to mention his name. I was so focused on the atrocities. Let me show you this. These images that they've filmed here. They've written "Fuck Gaza." This is on 8th of January. They're filming themselves, with houses burning in the background, burning people's homes, and then saying houses are burning by mistake. Basically a lot of sarcasm, like, oh, can't go to school anymore. But they're mocking Palestinians. And here's the same thing. There's an Israeli YouTube channel also that uploads, where Israelis upload videos of themselves burning Palestinians' homes in Gaza. Here they're also going through people's things, their belongings. I showed you this photo, but there are more. So yeah, there are more photos here where they're going through women's lingerie, on the bed and their closets. The Israelis, what they'll say, which is funny, is they'll pretend like, oh well, we were conducting searches. First of all, no one invited you to conduct searches. You have no right to conduct searches. You are trespassing. You're an invader in the true sense of the term. And then on top of that, like even if you buy this rubbish about, oh, they're searching for weapons, why are you photographing yourself with women's clothes and then putting these captions? I'm saying these things, I know that they're obvious, but I'm saying them because no matter how you look at this, through any possible explanation, any possible justification, there is none. It just doesn't exist. Here, look at this. They're throwing money on people that they blindfolded. I should remind you that it is a violation. It's a war crime to blindfold prisoners. I know the Americans want you to think that this is okay because they do it in movies, but it's forbidden. You're not allowed to blindfold prisoners. This is shit that Nazis did, literally, in World War II. You can't blindfold them. Because not only is it forbidden, it also can simulate or have the effect of simulating a mock execution. So it's forbidden, absolutely forbidden, to blindfold or put a bag on someone's head when you detain them. I don't care what anyone says. That's the law. And here you can see that the Israelis are doing it and then throwing money at the hostages they've taken.
Soma lecho nafshi, koma lecho. Chevre, das ist Sinne von Klippers Nege, in der Dolle Meirabi, in der Babetsch Melch HaMashiach Shlita. Chad, Stein, sei gesund, Woche Watzloche.
I'm pretty sure that was Yiddish at the end. Sei gesund, like be well in German. Yeah, look, here they are throwing in grenades at people's... I don't know if that's at the same people or not, but I don't want to know, frankly. but just horrible stuff. And here you can see them. They've gone into a facility that it belongs to the United Nations, to UNRWA, a medical clinic, and they've basically put explosives inside the place. They've here you can see they've wired it with explosives for no reason. It's just like, oh, it's a structure in Gaza, blow it up. And I wish this were just one image or one case, then we could have a debate about whether it's real or not. The problem is that Gaza has been flattened. A good chunk of Gaza has been flattened. So yes, we know for a fact the Israelis practice and implement a policy of mass destruction, truly mass destruction in the full sense of the term. So these are just some more videos, some more evidence of how sick the Israelis are. I mean, there are not enough words in the English language, that can adequately encapsulate how fucking depraved and sick these people are in the head. Again, I don't think that we should look at this from the point of view that, well, they've been indoctrinated with Zionism and therefore they don't know what they're doing. No, I'm sorry, they know exactly what they're doing. They are bastards. They're just bastards. There's no other way around it. They're fucking bastards. And whatever damage or suffering they claim to have incurred, or suffered on October 7th is surpassed by this 10, 50, 100, 1,000-fold, right? We have surpassed this a long time ago, from the first day already. And not to mention that you are counting from October 7th when you enter this mind frame. What about the 75 years before that? The Israelis have been behaving like this for 75 years. And again, even before 48, they've been behaving like this since. It's a bunch of European Jews that have been pushed out of Europe with the help of European countries, right? Who they themselves are anti-Semitic and actually don't want Jews in Europe, which is why they support Israel. So the Israelis are the Israeli army. It's a bunch of European Jews who have been pushed out of Europe and they come to Palestine and have been stealing and robbing and killing people since the beginning, since the very beginning. How do you think hundreds of thousands of Palestinians were displaced? It takes a lot of fear to make hundreds of thousands of people just get up and leave their homes. It's because they're terrorized, literally terrorized, right? So the Israelis have been implementing this policy since the beginning. It's just that now with the advent of the internet, with the advent of mobile phones and social media, it's much easier for us to see what's happening on the scale that it's happening, and I bet you that it's even worse than what we see, without question. But not only the scale of it, but actually as it's happening, while it's happening on the ground. And this is unprecedented with any genocide in history. And, the Israelis can moan as much as they like. They can say, oh, it's not a genocide. I don't give a fuck if you call it, chicken masala or you call it potato salad. I really don't give a fuck. This behavior is evil. You people are fucking evil. There's something wrong with you. If you're a Zionist, you are evil. You're sick. You're fucked up in your head. You don't have any humanity. You have no compassion. You have no sympathy. You have no morals. You are a fucking evil human being. And the mountain of evidence. I mean, Jesus Christ, how many videos do I have to show you? Is one not enough? Are 10 not enough? 50? What's the threshold for you to fucking, get this through your head? You can't reason with Zionists. They're just evil bastards. That's all. It's like Nazis. You can't reason with fucking Nazis because they're Nazis. And once again, I elect that we replace, as it's used colloquially in the English language, the term Nazi with Israeli or Zionist, because the evil has surpassed the Nazis. I mean, in any factor, any way you want to look at it, the rate of starving civilians, guess what? The Israelis have surpassed anyone in history at the rate of starvation inside of Gaza. The proportion of civilians killed, they've surpassed any conflict in the 20th century, including World War I and World War II. Any metric you look at, they have actually managed to do worse. The number of atrocities captured willingly by the soldiers themselves and shared, they've surpassed it. I mean, it's fucking amazing, really. It's like they're doing it on purpose. They just want to be worse than any army in history or any force in history. They don't even deserve to be called an army because they're a bunch of ragtag fucking terrorists from Eastern Europe. That's all they are. And the fact that they got a bunch of Arab Jews to move to Israel, which they coerced them, by the way, and they got the US to do that, doesn't change the fact that they're still terrorists. I don't care if you got black people, which they do. I don't care if you got Americans in the army. You're still terrorists. It doesn't change anything. The behavior is still rampant. It's systematic. It's widespread. It's a disgusting pervert culture, an evil culture. And here's the difference. Everything they say about Hamas, where's the fucking proof? I haven't seen one fucking video to this day of anything they claim about Hamas. But on the other hand, every day you got videos of Israelis themselves willingly sharing this on social media. It's unbelievable. We come back to the culture of projection, or the phenomenon of projection. Everything Israelis do, they accuse others of doing. Every single itty-bitty thing. It's unbelievable. I'll get more into detail about that in a second when we talk about this rape hoax.